Alright, welcome back to Flight Sim 2020. Welcome to a beautiful early morning here at Kruger and Mpumalanga International Airport, where we left off in the previous episode. And welcome, obviously, to episode 12 of the Neofly series. In today's episode, well, I've picked up this Embraer 121. This is the BR Sim Design Embraer 121, if I got that correct. And I've bought this aircraft here in South Africa in Neofly so that we can use it to do quick hops between our hubs around the country. So it's nice and quick. It's basically, I suppose, in the same kind of bracket as the King Air, a little bit smaller than most of the King Airs, but nice and quick, and it's a very cool aircraft to fly in the sim. So my initial plan was to head out to Skakuza and to some of the lodges here in Kruger, but as you can see, the weather's not great around here. There's quite a lot of thunderstorms around kind of northern South Africa. So I think what we're going to do first, it is a bright and early morning here in South Africa. We're going to head first down to the coast, back to Virginia in Durban, where this all started. Check out some routes around Virginia. What I want to start doing is, we've done some flights and we've got some airline routes out to Hlahluwi, but I want to do some more flights into some of the private strips, the kind of lodges and tourist areas, some of the game reserves around the Hlahluwi area. So I want to start setting that up. We will be back here to set up our routes. I want to do some routes with the 207 and King Air and the PC-12 into the game lodges around this part of South Africa. But like I said, the storms are kind of hampering that. So we're going to head down to the coast where things are supposed to be a bit better. And then in a future episode, we can come back up this side and check out some of the lodges. So that's the plan for today. We're going to be flying from here. Well, to start off with, we're going to be flying from here at Kruger and Mpumalanga down to Virginia in Durban in our Embraer 121. So from there, we'll see. I'll have a look at the weather and we'll probably head out to some of the strips. I first want to go back to the hub in Virginia and just see how things are doing there, see if we can adjust any of the routes and things like that. Check out the aircraft that we've got based there and make sure everything's running smoothly. And then we'll probably head out into northern KZN and check out some of the strips that we can set up routes into over there. So let's jump into the cockpit. Right, I think this is one of the coolest looking cockpits in any of the add-ons that we have in Flight Sim. Just my personal opinion, but I'm going to have to try and remember how to fly this. So we do have a checklist built in. So I've actually done, we've done the outside inspection. So we'll make sure, I think I had the parking brake set. Yes, cool. Right, I've done all the weight and balance. Okay, left and right oxygen is here. Well, sorry, the left oxygen is there. We'll assume that our co-pilot has done the same. Batteries off. The ELT check. Is over here. I'm not sure what they mean by check. I suppose just to make sure it's armed. Then it would probably say armed. But anyway, that's on. These are all off. AC auto. That's up here. Cool, that was auto. And pressure mode auto as well. Which is... Okay, so that's on auto. And then we need to come down here. And this guy should auto as well. So those are both set. Wipers are off, window heat is off. Heater heat's off. Ignition switch is normal. Yeah, they're both set to normal. Inertial separators off. Left and right converters, which are here, are both set to off. Generators are off. Lights are all off. Auto feather is off. Prop sync is off. Radio master is off. Transponder set to standby. Weather radar's off. Fuel pumps are off. Gear down. Throttle levers all the way down. Props max RPM set. Condition levers cut off. Elevator trim neutral. Let's just see. Cool. And these are neutral as well. Right, next we can start with our pre-flight. So we're going to turn the battery on. So we can come up here and we'll go battery. Okay, check that we have at least 24 volts. So let's hold that down and see. Yeah, we're about 24 and a half, 25. Just under 25. Okay, so that's good. Converters left and right on. So that's there and there. That's done. Okay, passenger and cabin lights. Right, what lights do we need on? Nav, we can turn on the beacon now, so long. Taxi and all of that is fine. We'll leave the cabin lights off for now. We've got the instrument lights on, that's fine. Nav lights on. Left CAA test. I think is this. Cool, that's tested. Control column neutral, right CAA test. We will go here and do the same thing. Okay, that's tested. Control column neutral. Okay, fire tests. We have come down here. So there's left. And there's a right. I don't know if this is normal that you have to keep switching that off each time. But anyway, that's done. Oh, sensor I didn't do. Cool, that's done. Annunciator panel test. We come down here. Put this into test and all of that comes on. And we have another master caution or master warning to get rid of. Right, pre-flight is all done. For startup, let's make sure all of the doors are closed. So we can come here and see all the doors are closed. We are fully loaded. So actually what I'm taking is a bunch of magazines, which we bought at the market here, just down to the hub. So we don't have to fly empty. We'll take some magazines down that can get a little bit more income from our hub there for passenger flights. Right. Anti-collision lights are on, seatbelt, and no smoking signs. Brake pressure is in the green. Parking brake is set. We can now remove the chocks. Cool, that's done. They were actually removed anyway. Okay, left and right auxiliary fuel pumps on and then auto. So we need to put them all the way up. Oh, that's main. Aux on and then auto and auto. That's done. Left and right main fuel pumps on and check fuel pressure. Okay, on, and we do have... Oh, that pressure came up when we turned on the aux, so that's cool. Right, now we can start up the left engine. So let's just have a look and make sure that everything is clear around us, which it is. And we will then do ignition switch normal. Okay, which it is. And then left start switch to start. Engine start light illuminated. It is. Condition lever above 12%. Can bring it up. Okay, which we definitely have. So let's bring those up to low idle. Now, just because of my HOTAS, they're both going to come up. So we'll start the second engine with that already at low idle. Okay, that's done. Everything in the green. Seems kind of low, actually. I wonder what that warning was for. Okay, I mean, all of the gauges are kind of low, but they're not bad, let's put it that way. Okay, engine start life off. It is. Left start switch back to normal. Cool. Okay, oh, condition lever to high. Let's start the other one, then we'll put them both up. Left generator switch on. I'll leave the generator off until we put that into high. I think that'll be better. Now we need to, I'm assuming, repeat by engine 2. So let that start there. And that's coming up, that's coming up. Right, let's go high for the condition levers. That's what I want to see, those guys starting to come up. That's coming up. Everything else is in the green. Okay, that's a bit better. So now we need just to do... what did I come here to do? Oh, the generators. Okay, so 1, 2 on. Now that should be extinguished there, and we have the AC, which we're going to do next. So AC switch on. So that's there. We shall turn that guy on. Vent switch on. Done. No, we don't want to be in vent mode. We want to be in pressure mode. Vent switch off, because we're going up to pressurized altitude. So for unpressurized, so below flight level 100, we use vent mode. Otherwise, we're going to pressure mode. So that is on, that is off. That is set to auto. Pressure vent switch on. So that must be this one then. So that's the vent switch. And that has now gone to pressurization, I think. Left and right bleed cutoff valves need to be open, like so. We can hear the air coming in now. Pressure mode switch auto, we did that earlier. Okay, cruise altitude plus 500. We are going up to 22,000 feet. So we need to dial that up to 22,500. And we do that down here. Okay, so that's 21, 22 and a half. Cool. Done. Okay, before taxi backup altimeter, we need to go and uncage. So we'll press that. And that's done. Windshield de-ice not required. Air... Is that air turbine intake? Don't actually know. Oh no, is that part of the anti-ice? Let's see, there we go, air turbine intake. We don't need any of the anti-ice, but we'll turn on the pitot heat. That's fine. Inertial separators will turn on now while we're here anyway, just because there might be debris on the runway and stuff. Yeah, taxi light we can turn on for now. Okay, so none of the anti-ice is required. That is on. Battery temperature test. That is here. Oh, that's bad. I don't know. It went into the red. It doesn't say what to do about that, so we'll just pretend that didn't happen. Okay, that's done. Weather radar is already on standby, I believe. No, it was off. It's now on standby. Cool. Altimeter is set. What was our altimeter? 1022. Crossfeed, test left and right. And I think that is here. Let's test that. Green light, test right. Green light. Cool. Elevator trim is neutral. Flaps to take off. Set. Flight controls checked. Taxi light is on. Let's go ahead and we'll taxi and hold short, and then we can go through them before takeoff. Oh geez, what I should actually do before that is I forgot to align the GPS. So we might as well do some of the before takeoff stuff while we wait for that to sync anyway. Props minimum RPM. Throttle idle. Mission levers high, and then back to max. Throttle levers idle again. That's very random. So basically, I think they want us to just cycle this. So we do that. Throttles are already idle. Condition levers are already high. Back to max RPM. Throttles are still at idle on the auto feather. Flaps are set. Inertial separators are on. Weather radar will turn on when we get closer to the runway, so let's keep that there for now. Again, on our GPS, which is actually just finished. Perfect. Okay, while here, might as well dial this up to 22. And let's make our way down to Virginia. Now there is a big kind of storm cell belt that's making its way. It's kind of just south of Johannesburg at the moment, so we're hopefully, well, we'll definitely already be at 21,000 feet, or 22,000, sorry, by that point. I hope that's enough to get over it. We might actually have to go a bit higher. There's a bunch of kind of like localized cells in this area, but there's a whole band that's coming up from the coast that we're gonna have to be flying over. Which is one of the reasons why I got this aircraft. Why are we doing this? You know, if we had to go down in a Kodiak or something like that, it'd be fun, but we'd be having to deal with that weather. At least with this guy, we can go up way higher than 22,000 feet if we need to. So it means we can clear some of that weather, which you often get on that flight from kind of Johannesburg or more north down to the coast. Okay, what was the other thing we had to do? Right, weather radar. Yeah, I think we are gonna do weather radar. And then we can do landing lights and strobe lights we need as well. Okay. Yeah, weather radar's done. Packs and cabin lights are already off. Taxi lights we can turn off now, so let's just come up here. That's off, and we've got landing and strobe lights on. Inspection lights we don't need. Transponder. Right, it's this one here. So you can actually have different cabin configurations which move the transponder around. So I think I had a different one last time I flew this aircraft, but anyway, transponder, did I actually set it to the right thing? No. Okay, there we go. And altitude reporting can on. Right, that's after takeoff. It is nice and windy, most likely, very much so. And it's almost a solid crosswind from the right, so this is going to be an interesting departure. Great, and do my best to kind of keep it heading straight down the runway. think we are good to go. Okay, everything looks nice and smooth there. Right, let's get out of here. Definitely feel that crosswind, and it's gusty as well. Right, gear up. A cool runway to take off from. You go over the cliff here and then to the city. Okay, let's get the flaps up as well. Nice and bumpy. Oh, wow. Right, let's get the autopilot on to help us out. We can come down here and just arm this going all the way up. Interesting. You have to come back and figure that out in a bit. How do I tell it that I want to do vertical speed mode? I think I had this issue last time. So yeah, we need to be climbing at this stage. It's kind of important. I'm missing something, and there's actually another control for the autopilot. No, that's it. You're damn hon. So how do I engage the vertical speed? Very weird. So here's the indicator. I can't click on that. But I did this in my other flights. I didn't have any issues. Oh wow, now it's way off where we need to be heading. Okay, this is not going well. we're up to 500 now, but I don't feel like that's because of anything I've done. Right, there's the airport. Let's then just go into nav mode. And has that actually worked? GPS, yes. So vertical speed. Let me just try something. So I think this is what I had last time. There. It has kind of reset everything. And now still doesn't work. Okay, we're in vertical speed mode, but I have no way of controlling the vertical speed. Okay, that looks better. That should say nav. That should say armed, and now, okay, cool. I don't know what goes on with that other autopilot. We're gonna go over to this GPS setup, which is what I had before. Because that appears to work. Wow, it is very bumpy. Oh, look at the weather we're flying through, that's why. And now I haven't finished this, which is going to be very difficult bouncing around like this. Okay, flaps retracted. Landing lights we can switch off. Inspection lights we don't have on. Inertial separators off and off. Done. Okay, auto feather can now go to off. Prompt sync on. I can't tick these things off. Pressurization. It does appear to be working. Altimeter is set. And autopilot sort of work. Oh, this is just impossible. Okay, there we go. Next checklist. Once we get up to cruise. Okay, climbing out at a steady 1,000 feet per minute. Right, I think things are working now. It's definitely very bumpy, but we're gonna get above this weather, and hopefully that should make things calm down quite a bit. Interestingly enough, that's not where I wanted to go. Nothing shows up on the weather radar. I don't actually know if this works. I thought it did though for some reason. Anyway, we'll see if we get anything displayed on there. But actually, it might just be precipitation that it's showing. And we don't really have any of that. It's just clouds around here. Fuel flow is pretty high. Otherwise, everything else is in the green. Let's maybe bring our props back a little bit for climb. we do? About 97, 98? And then we'll back that off again once we get to cruise. Wow, straight into the weather. This is very unpleasant to fly through this. I want to actually zoom out on the GPS. Really hope that this is going to smooth out a bit. But anyway, we are kind of on our way down to Durban. Okay, we're just through 10,000 feet. Let's maybe see if this is going to be even remotely possible. Try and climb a bit faster and get out of this as soon as possible. Oh, really, come on. Okay, we'll leave it at 1,300. It's the best I can do. Very pretty outside in the early morning. Just very, very bumpy. Alright, so we've just leveled off at 22,000 feet. Thankfully, it is a lot calmer up here where we are now. Cloudy everywhere, but nice and smooth. So we can now go through our checklist. Inspection lights we didn't use. We don't need anti-ice pressurization. When I looked just now, everything was looking fine. That all looks good. Cool. Okay, packs and cabin lights. Seatbelt signs, I'm definitely going to leave them on considering the weather that's around. And it doesn't actually matter because it's just us and some magazines. Condition lever is high. Max RPM. Wow, okay, I actually pulled the RPMs back a bit. But it's saying for cruise max RPM. Interesting. Okay, well, we'll do that then. And then throttles as required. Oh, okay. And that's it for now. So now, it's just a case of cruising on. Thankfully, because it stopped bouncing around so much, I can actually make some adjustments to the GPS. So, one thing I did want to do is change some of these fields. That's cool. What I want here, time at destination, there we go. 5:29, no. Not time, estimated time. Estimated time to destination. There we go. That's what I wanted. 50 minutes. So just under an hour to cruise along to Virginia. So I will see you in a bit. Hopefully it stays nice and calm like this. And hopefully the weather's fine down in Durban. And we can make it into Virginia nice and easily. So I'll see you when it's time to prep for descent. Alright, so we're just over 70 miles. 75 miles-ish from Virginia. And just having a look at the weather, Virginia is reporting IFR. Broken clouds at 400 feet, if I remember correctly. So, wind, 160 to 240 variable, 14 knots, visibility of only 4,600, drizzle, broken at 700, overcast at 2,200. So, the ceiling reported again 700 feet. We might actually be going to King Sharker. So, yeah, it looks like it's going to be one of those days where we couldn't get into, well, we didn't even attempt flying into Johannesburg because of all the storms. And now it does appear we might not actually make it into Virginia, but we shall try. So, I mean, Virginia is pretty much on the coast. It is literally on the coast. Elevation of 20 feet. So we'll do 1,500 for our pattern altitude. Let's go ahead and arm that. Yeah, now I don't know how this actually works, because now it doesn't appear to be armed, but we are in vertical speed mode, so we have to keep an eye on that as we go. Okay, so 240. That means runway 23, which is straight in from where we are coming in, almost straight in. So runway 23 will be the one that we take. So we'll give that an attempt. And if it doesn't work, we'll have to head to Durban King Sharker, which is really close. So what I'm actually going to do is get frequencies for King Sharker. That'll be 24 at King Sharker, so we'll turn, go down the coast, and then join the ILS for 24. So King Sharker is also reporting the same. So I'm pretty sure Virginia is probably pulling King Sharker's META anyway because it's so close. That was an hour ago, so we'll check. It's 51 minutes, so we'll check in about 10 minutes time and see if there's an updated weather report. Hopefully things are a little better. But what I was looking for is ILS 24 at King Sharker is 109.7. We join at 3,000 feet. 242 is our course. Okay, 109.70. I don't know if we can change this. Oh, cool, we can. So, 242 on the course. Some decent gaps between the clouds here, but the ceiling doesn't seem as low as it's reported, so either it's going to get worse at the coast, or the conditions have improved quite a bit since that last META. looking on Navigraph, it's saying that we've got clouds around, looking at about 80% coverage at 6,000 feet and then less lower down to 2,000. So it might have actually improved in those 51 minutes. Oh, the QNH was 1023. Okay, anti-ice we don't need. We left the seatbelts on. Cabin altitude goal, landing altitude. Do we dial this down to our landing altitude? That seems interesting. So, I mean, our landing altitude is 20 feet. Still need to figure out this. So if I click arm, it doesn't arm it. It should come up with arm there, but I don't know. Yeah, just keep paying attention to the altitude. Right, so we've done all of that. Before landing is next. Okay, we can tick off some of this now already. That's done, and we'll stop at landing lights. Altimeter is done. De-ice we don't need. We'll turn this on just now. That's already done, and so is that. Cool. What I'll do is just keep refreshing this meta, see if we can get an updated one. So 55 minutes ago, it should update probably. It's kind of on the hour, but it should update just after the hour. See, out that way is looking a little worse, actually. And then while we were cruising, I was actually doing a little bit of research because I've been feeling like the turbulence is just completely out of control. That green is interesting. That means we've got some rain over Durban. Right. Anyway, what I've done since my research is I've actually set the turbulence level to low. I had it on realistic. Now I've got it set to low. I found a post where Phoenix, the developers of the A320, actually said they recommend using the low setting because realistic is kind of exaggerated. So we'll see if that's any better, because I do kind of agree the turbulence has just been insane. I've been struggling to actually record the Australia to South Africa series in the Comanche 250, the A2A Comanche, just because every time I fly it's so bouncy you can barely kind of see what's going on in the cockpit. So the low setting definitely has been better already. Just watching this flight during the cruise, I know there's a little bit of bumps around you. I mean, our climb up to cruise was done with the realistic setting, so now we'll kind of be or kind of show how it is when we actually get a bit closer to the ground. You can see the plane is still moving around a little bit. It's just not so insane. Yeah, lots of green. green squares around Durban, so I think we are going to have some weather to deal with. Hopefully we can actually get into Virginia, although King Shark is also one of the hubs for us in Neofly, so not the end of the world going there either. And then we're going to check out some options for routes up into the or up into northern KwaZulu-Natal and see what strips we have that we can operate some charter flights into. And we'll go probably pick one or two, maybe two. I think two will work nicely. We can go check them out and fly. Probably the PC-12s would be a good option to fly out there, but I also need a couple more routes for the Embraer 120s. So this is the 121. The 120, how many seats are there in a 120? Is it like 18? I think it's about 18. Oh, it says 30. Okay, quite a bit bigger than I thought. Let's check. I don't think it can take 30. It's probably a different variant to what we've got in Neofly. Pretty sure the one in Neofly takes like 18 passengers. Right, coming through 10,000 feet, we're below 250 knots anyway, so we don't need to stress about but we probably should start slowing down a bit. What are we? 31 miles. We're probably fine actually at the speed we're at. Right, here we start going into the clouds. GPS is saying rain up ahead. I can't see anything there. It could definitely be raining under those clouds though. With the ceiling at 700, I don't think Virginia is going to be possible. Well, I mean, Virginia has no procedures, so we have to be VFR going to Virginia anyway. So if we can't be VFR in the circuit, that's a no-go. Right, it's just gone over the hour. Let's check the METAR. Yeah, it hasn't updated yet. Give it a few more minutes. But looking at the GPS, I reckon we're gonna be struggling. And there is King Shark on our map now. Oh, great, to just zoom past it over there. So if we can't make it into Virginia, which is down here, just fly along the coast and we'll join the ILS 24 like that. It's not looking good, is it? Okay, so this appears to be the kind of solid layer that's going to cause us problems. I mean, it's nice and solid up here. We're still at 7,000 feet. So this is probably the layer that Navigraph was showing at 6,000 feet. But if there's quite a bit of space underneath it, so we're saying overcast at 2,200 feet. Like, that's probably fine. It's the 700 feet that's worrying me. Because, I mean, if we're in the circuit at 1,500, a ceiling of 2,200 is okay. We'll be able to see the runway. A ceiling of 700 is not going to work. So we'll see once we descend through this layer, which looks like we're coming up to now. Probably turn the landing lights on at this point. That's done. Flaps we will do later. Before we go into this, we might as well turn on these guys as well. Seatbelts, no smoking, all good. Right, here we go into the soup. GPS is all solid green. Oh, it ends just before Virginia. That's interesting. Okay, METAR still hasn't updated, so we don't have any new information there. Little bumpy in the clouds, to be expected. Okay, METAR just updated and it's fully VFR. Okay. QNH1024, we already don't have that set. Because we're 3, okay, 1024. Fully VFR, wow, that's a huge change and it's not what we're seeing. I don't think this is right. This could be another instance of flight sims real weather lagging behind quite a bit. I think we're going to have pretty rough weather there in the sim, because obviously an hour ago the weather here was pretty bad, so we're probably about half an hour behind, which happens quite a lot on flight sims real weather. Because this is saying few clouds, 1,400 feet, that's it, the whole area. Nah. I mean, even King Sharker, which we've just flown past, is reporting 1,400 few clouds, and look what we are in. So I reckon we are going to be going to King Sharker, doing the ILS. We're just breaking through there, 2,000 feet. Please tell me this is actually going to work. Still doesn't do anything. I'm happy to fly to the, or direct to the airport and then do like an overhead join sort of. Right, I can see the coastline. That's a good sign. There's the airport. Okay, it's runway 23. I think we should be able to get into Virginia. Oh, I mean, it's not great, especially out that way where we're gonna go. Definitely see the airport. And it's not raining at the moment. And we are now just busting through 1,500 feet. Brilliant. Okay, let's go and join the circuit. Okay, we can start getting some flaps in. And we can bring this around. Into the rain now. Great. Okay, auto feather armed, prop sync off. We'll set flaps as we go. The radar to standby, not that it's really shown us anything throughout the flight anyway. Even though, yeah, it's raining here. Okay, gear and flaps. Speed up a bit. Skyscraper over there is a good indicator for the runway. I mean, this is definitely not legal at this point. We wouldn't be able to do this in reality. Because technically we should be VFR now. See the runway. well, we are visual now. Wonder if in reality you could have asked for like vectors onto final, because it was kind of just out there that the visibility was bad. Once we're on final here, it's fine. I mean, it's raining, but we can see perfectly fine. Yeah, so we are still getting some bumps with low turbulence, so it hasn't like turned it off complete or to a point where you don't even notice it. So I think we'll stick with this setting from now on. Come a little high. There's no puppy or anything for some reason. Great. The classic flight sim stutter on short final. If it actually went to reverse there. No, it didn't. No. Yeah, we can get the flaps up. Landing lights and strobes can come off. And welcome back to Durban, Virginia, where we kicked off our kind of airline operations for the Neofly series. And we haven't been here for several episodes, but we are now back. That looks like a drug deal. We are now back for a bit. We're not actually going to stay in Virginia for very long in this episode, because we're just coming to stop off, drop our magazines, and then we'll be heading out. But in fact, I'll take a look. We'll use the app, which I've only used in one other episode. But we'll open that up and you can kind of see as I have a look and decide which little airstrips we can go and check out in northern KZN. I think that was where I normally parked. Or is it this next one? Jeez, I've forgotten where the hangar is. Yeah, it was that one. Or was it here? No, I think it was that one. I'm gonna stay away from this vehicle. Just kind of put us in like this. Just I hope my wing isn't going through the building. Seems okay. Right. Okay, that'll work. Right, that's all done. Okay, flaps up, de-ice off, inertial separators. Now can come off. Auto feather, strobes and landing lights. Auto feather, strobes, landing lights, inspection lights. Taxi lights are on, but we can actually turn those off now. Transponder standby, didn't do. Okay, weather radar off. Probably could have just turned it off earlier instead of standby, although you probably want it to cool down or something. Elevator trim neutral. Let's check that. Okay, that's done. Right, parking brakes set. Taxi lights off. Throttles idle. Pillars down to minimum. Bleed, cut-off valves closed. Yeah, that'll be the AC. Pressure and vent switch off. Let's just do this. So that's that one. Vent switch is already off. AC switch off. Done. And then we can shut down the engines. And switch off the fuel pumps. Generators. Oh, aux and main fuel pumps these we mustn't leave in auto. Generators, we do off and off like so. Right, then we need to come out here and do chocks. We can open the main door so long. Might as well do covers, I suppose. As you know, we're not staying here. We wouldn't put the covers on now. We're going out a bit later. So definitely chocks and obviously the door. Cool. Done. Done. Anti-collision lights. That's already done. That's already done. So is that. And that we need to do. That's done. Those we can do. Converters. Battery. So anti-collision lights. Pitot heat. Radio. So let's do nav. Leave the nav on. Anti-collision lights off. These guys off. These off. Converters off. Okay, so that's done. That's done. That's done. This one, which is down here. Done. And then battery. Done. Right, so that's our first leg. In reality, we would now kind of go inside and check out how things are going here in Virginia. And then a bit later today, we'll head out to northern KZN. How far did I actually park away? It's not too bad. It's just a plane wouldn't be able to fit past us on that side, which is a bit of a problem. Right, but I'll see you a little bit later when it's time to go and check out one of or two of the airstrips in northern KZN. Alright, so it is now midday here in Durban. Not much has really changed with the weather, to be honest. But if we take a look at the map here, so this is where we currently are in Durban. The area that I want to set up some flights into is up here. So if we zoom out, okay, so this is all Eswatini and this is all Mozambique, and we want to fly into this area. So there's a couple of national parks up here that I would like to have charters to. Doesn't actually tell us the name, does it? I'm trying to think which one is which. So the ones that I know, I think this is Mkuzi. This is Mkuzi. Because that's Mkuzi Airport over there. Obviously, that's Tembe Elephant Park. That's in Dumo, I do know that. And then this is the Wetland Park. I don't know what this little one is. Yeah, those don't say. So our options for getting in here... Oh, that's also just labeled as Josini. Okay. So I definitely think we should operate to Mkuzi. That's also a decent option. This is one of the private Zulu Nyala. Yes, it's one of the private reserves or private lodges in the reserve. Mkuzi goes actually to the town rather than the reserve. That's also labeled as Mkuzi. So I think we're going to do FAMU. And then we should come up to Tembe as well. What's this called? Probably just Nsoko, okay. This one here. Also just labeled as Josini. Louis. We already fly to Louis. And to Richards Bay. Where's the actual Louis airport? The actual Louis airport is FHL. There it is there. So we already fly there. We also already fly here to Richards Bay. So I think we should definitely do Mkuzi. We're going to do Zulu Nyala, and we'll do Tembe. I think that works. Possibly this one as well. Right, on our flight today, we're going to start off with FADQ, FAMU, and then FDNO, and we'll check out FAKB and see what they look like and whether we actually want to operate in and out of those. And then we'll come back here to Virginia. If we can't get into Virginia, again, we will just head into Durban King Shark. So because we've already done it, I'm not going to take you through the whole startup process. So you'll join me again when it's time to start putting our routes into the GPS for this. Right, we're all fired up and ready to go. So let's go and see. We're not going to go super high on this. So I think in terms of cruise altitude, I reckon we just do, we can stay in vent mode and do 9,000 feet because we're going east. So our first one is going to be, not that one, we said FAD. So let's come in here and clear this. Right, so we're at Virginia, obviously. And then our first route, let's just go via the Richards Bay VOR. That one. Okay, FADQ. Then we will go to FAMU, which is in Puzi. And then I can't remember the others. So we need to head up to Tembe, FDNO. And then FAB. I think what I've done here is set Richards Bay. I didn't get to set a destination. Oh yeah, I see it's taking us to Q as our destination. It's not the end of the world. It's actually fine. We'll just do it that way. We'll end up at Zulu in Yala and then come back. Oh no, that's not gonna work. Okay, no, I'm gonna have to do this again because we need to come back to Virginia. So we're actually gonna do FAV. Destination is, you know what? We're actually not gonna return. Let's go and stay at Pietermaritzburg for the night so we can check out our hub there as well. I want to make sure that the ATRs are operating up to Lanseria and Kruger as well. Okay, then we're going to do FADQ, then FAMU. The other one is DNO, and then FDNO, and then a B, and I forgot about FAR. Can I move this up? Oh no, I didn't want to do that. So what I should actually do is then say insert after our Richards Bay. Cool, that's actually what we want, and we finish at Pietermaritzburg. Epic. Right, let's get out of here. Flaps are set. All of that's good. We just got to taxi to the runway. Once we get to the runway, we'll turn off the taxi lights, turn on the landing lights and strobes, and turn on the transponder. Transponder's not on already, is it? It is actually, so that's fine. Where is the windsock? Oh yes, the windsock here is buried in the trees somewhere, so I don't actually know what the wind is doing. It seems to actually be clearing a little bit, which is cool. Right, we can close the map for now. And all these 172s lined up here. What was the other thing I wanted to do is just set this heading nicely. And then this also dial. Oh, we're gonna have to do VFR actually through here. No, we're not gonna do VFR through that. So we'll do the same thing. We'll go IFR and then VFR for the landing. Right, lights. Okay, flaps are set, lights are set. We can turn off the taxi lights. That's all done. Right, that's cool. Come down here. That's done, that's done, that's done, that's done, and so is that. Okay, next is after takeoff. The other thing I wanted to do was... Oh yes, the heading is cool. Right, let's make our way out of Virginia and onto our first airport to check out. Okay, gear can come up. I think that's because of the flaps. Yeah. Yeah, let's get the autopilot on. Come down here and we should arm this. That's a bit better. We can climb up at 1,500. Let's go heading mode. And we can start our turn here. Okay, we're definitely going to be going back into the rain. Which is why we can't do this VFR. But that's cool. Okay, cool. Let's do our turn. Okay, flaps up. Landing lights we can turn off. Not needed. Those are now. Come on. Off. Auto feather, prop sync, pressurization, and altimeter. Altimeter is set. Auto feather off. Prop sync on. Pressurization. I mean, we're not actually pressurizing, so. Leave that all the way down, I guess. That's cool. Done, 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 and done. There's Virginia. We're just passing off of our left wing. just going to stay off the coast here. And then we'll catch up with our GPS course just now. Going into that weather a bit, so it seems to have, during the day, kind of moved out that way. So we're probably going to catch up with that and go through it a bit. There's our route for this afternoon. Obviously, we're not stopping at Richards Bay, but we'll be stopping at each of the other airports to have a look around. And back into the rain. Right, we're basically just going to climb up to our cruising altitude and then cruise on over to our first airport. So I'll cut it here so this video doesn't get extremely long, and join you when it's time to make our approach into Zulu and Yala. If I put this on now, it's gonna... No, that's exactly what we need. Cool, see you in a bit. Okay, 13 miles to go, so probably should have already started descending, but we're gonna do that now anyway. I'm not actually 100% sure what the altitude is on this airport, and it's not on Navigraph, so yeah, we're gonna have to see. It's a little bit clearer here. There are obviously still scattered clouds all around, but if you look out in front of us, it should be no issue getting into this little airstrip. We're just gonna have to find it. That's gonna be the first challenge. Passing pretty much directly, well, exactly over St. Louis Airport, and that all is the St. Lucia Wetland and the Wetland National Park along the coast there. So yeah, directly over St. Louis Airport, where we have our airline flights with the bigger Embraer, which come in and out of there once a day. And the airstrip we're going into is a private lodge in this nature reserve here, as far as I know. Well, it must be, because I know that Zulu and Yala is a private lodge over there. I've driven past it. Never been to it, but I've driven past it. Seven miles. Can we see this little river? Not really. Kind of aligned with the runway. I think it might be there. Yeah, there, the strip is there. Cool. Start getting flaps, and we'll take gear down as well so we can slow down a bit. Okay, landing lights on. Inertial separators can come on. The rest is all good. Set this guy to standby. In fact, we can just turn it off. Yeah, at least the weather's clear enough here. We're going up that way as well, so that might see us running into a bit of trouble. This must be the lodge over here that we're flying nice and low over. Sorry if you're a guest there. Wow, the wind over those trees just to the one side.
Excellent landing, sir.
Okay, flaps can come up. Keep the landing lights and strobes on for now. Right, but welcome to the Zulu Nyala Lodge. This is quite a nice, big paved runway. I reckon we could operate the Brea 120s in here. Although not that we'd really have enough passengers coming in here. I mean, this is a small private lodge, so it's probably better. This would probably be perfect for like the PC-12s. Nice luxury transport. So I think that's a bit better. Obviously the Kodiaks easily operate in and out here. I think the 120s would just be a bit of an unnecessary amount of capacity. Okay, let's turn off the landing lights and strobes. And if they need big shipments of no, don't drive into me, please. If they need big shipments of cargo in and out here, then this would be ideal for the Caribou to take on that kind of role. Because we still have a Caribou based here in Durban. Right, let's go ahead. Props and shut down. Switch these off. We can actually pretty much leave this as is because we're not going to stay super long. Right, again, I'm not going to go through the whole shutdown process and all of that. You'll join me again when it's ready to prep for going to the next airport. Alright, so we spent just over half an hour here. We checked it out. I think the runway and all of that looks good. Definitely operate the PC-12s in here for private charters, and then the Caribou easily. Even the Dash 7. We don't have a Dash 7 down here in KZN at the moment. But definitely the Caribou for cargo ops. Everything's powered on, we just need to start the engines. But what I'm going to do now is just, to be honest, we probably don't even need the taxi lights. The runway is right here. We're just going to take off in this direction because it's bang on crosswind. So let's just get the engines fired up. Right, so let's go. Props full. And then we can come up here and do these guys on. Cool. And start. Right, introduce the fuel, and now that should start spinning up. Right, and we'll do the same for engine 2. Very nice. Engine start lights are extinguished, so we can go. Oh, generators are already on. Cool. That's all set. We might as well turn on the landing lights and strobes as we're going straight onto the runway. Separators, heat of heats, flaps for takeoff. What warning do we have? Hydraulic pressure. Might just be because we're not at high RPM. Yeah, that's why. Okay, starting to get low on fuel. We might need to fill up before our return leg, but we'll keep an eye on that. I mean, these places aren't particularly far that we're going now. If we look at the next leg, it's pretty short. So I reckon we're going west now. So let's just do 6,000 feet. And come here. We'll do heading once we line up on the runway. Okay, let's see what it's like getting out of here. We got plenty of runway. All the other aircraft that I've mentioned getting in and out here, apart from the 120, which we're not going to bring here. It's too big. Too big in terms of the number of people. But I mean, the Kodiak, the PC-12, the Caribou, the Dash 7 even, all have great short runway performance, so I won't have any issues with that. I didn't sync up the heading, but I'll fix that now. Okay, gear up. Flaps up. Okay, let's just get on a heading to intercept our GPS course. Okay, just 15.5 miles to Mpuzi. Only at 2,000 feet. I'm actually going to bring this down don't need to climb that high then. Let's do 4. We VFR, so we should be 4.5. I'm going to continue VFR for now, I think. Should be able to do the next couple of legs. There's some clouds out ahead, but I think we can finish the next couple of legs VFR. I'm probably going to have to head back to Pietermaritzburg IFR though. Okay, leveling off at 4.5, it looks like. Good stuff. Right, only 8 miles to go. Right, so the airport is down in the valley. So here's this mountain range here. So it is down there in the valley near the river. So I mean that could be even just right there. See if I can see the airport. Ah, there it is there. Okay, so wow, that was a bit violent. That dam up ahead is Jozini Dam, which is pretty spectacular. It's right on the border between South Africa and Eswatini. And it's kind of built in with this mountain range that runs along its eastern side. Very, very cool. If you drive, you can drive over the dam wall on eastern side. Pretty cool. Okay, I'm gonna join overhead the airport and then left-hand turn and come in parallel to where we are now. let's go ahead and get gear and the rest of our flaps up. I must say, this is a very cool little aircraft to fly. I do really enjoy it, and I don't know what it is, I just think the cockpit looks amazing. Little high. In fact, a lot high. Ooh. I also forgot to turn off the props thing. Shouldn't be doing that now. I landed with quite a bit of a tailwind. This should also be on for takeoff and landing. Alright, this is a nice airport. We could definitely operate, again, same aircraft. I mean, this has got quite a bigger runway. We could probably even operate the ATRs in here. Again, I don't know how much demand there is for passenger flights in and out here. So maybe the ATRs are, again, a bit unnecessary, but maybe the 120s can operate in here easily. Yeah, to be honest, we don't even need to stop off. This is very cool. Just do a bit of a taxi through here. Let's just get our flaps set for go. And I think we're going to carry straight on. I mean, this is very cool. Nice big runway. The town of Mkuzi is a bit bigger than the other places. You'll see it when we head out. So I think we should operate the 120s in here. Right. Let's take off. I'm taking off more into the wind, which is a good idea. Landing lights and strobes. The prop sync is actually off now. And auto feather armed. I was pretty close with my course line. That one just kind of eyeballing it. Can I actually engage this now? Oh wow, I actually can. Interesting. Okay, 4,500 is not cool. We're gonna do 5.5 because we're going east now. Right, all clear. These should actually be on again. Lights are set. Here we go. Accelerates nice and quickly, and we are on. Okay, gear up. Flaps up. Autopilot on in heading mode. Let's arm this. And we'll just go up 1,000 feet a minute. Okay, inertial separators off. Landing lights can come off. And auto feather prop sync. Back off on the power just a little bit. And then... that's cool. So now we can just do this. We didn't actually go into heading mode. Why on earth did I just turn right? That makes no sense. Okay, interesting. Alright, interesting. I don't know why I turned right instead of left there. That was just weird. Okay, we're basically going to come back over the airport. And in fact, you know what? Let me show you... Well, let's see what the dam wall of Jozini Dam looks like in Flight Sim. So we're heading that direction anyway. So I'll see if I can spot the road where you drive through. So if you're going like from inland down to the coast, if you're going to like St. Lucia, kind of come down here and around and then up into the mountains and then over the dam wall and out that way. So the road is on this side. And it should actually be kind of easy to find because this little part here is the dam. So you drive down around this peak and then through here and you cross over that over there and then continue. So it should be pretty easy to find. I'm actually going to change our cruising altitude here. Because 3,500 is actually more than enough to get over this ridge. So I think this is the road here. So yeah, there it comes down on this side. That might be in the park. That's probably the main road there. And then you go up through like this. That looks quite right. And then you kind of go along the top of the ridge and then you start going down again and cross over the dam. So we're not quite at the dam yet because you go along this little section for a bit first and then cross over. Every time I try and do sightseeing, there has to be clouds exactly on the place I'm trying to look at. Be tough to see. So, I mean, the dam is down here somewhere. Oops, we're VFR. We're pretty much on an intercept heading now to our next airstrip, which is in Tembe. There we go, that's the dam wall there. Pretty cool. So yeah, you come down through this town, cross the dam wall, and then you can carry on driving up that way or that way. That way, I think we went that way. Right, that's Josini Dam. Let's come down here so long and arm this. Will get us back on our GPS course. 33 miles to Tembe. And so far, both of the places that we visited are great options to set up as charters for, what would that be, out of Virginia, I guess. For the smaller aircraft, yes. Our ATRs are at Maritzburg, our Embraer 120s are at Maritzburg as well. The Caribou is at Virginia. So I think Embraer 120 flight from Maritzburg to Mpuzi, Caribou cargo flight from Virginia to Zuluanyala, and then VIP flights with the PC-12 from Virginia to Zuluanyala. The only thing is, you know, with those flights into Virginia, I'm probably gonna end up at King Sharka quite often because of the weather. Same with the flights out of Maritzburg, to be honest. In reality, they end up at King Sharka pretty often. Especially for something like the Embraer 120. Back when they used to fly the Jetstream 41s in and out there, they ended up at King Sharka all the time. Okay, we should be starting our turn shortly, which is good because it's going to take us away from those clouds. There we go. Right, so next up is Tembe Elephant Park, which, like Ndumo next to it. So Tembe is kind of here, and Ndumo is, well, Tembe is kind of there, and Ndumo is up there. That little lake and that big lake, and that is all part of Ndumo. Both of those nature reserves sit right on the border with Mozambique. 22 miles. Okay, 10 miles to go. Looks like we're gonna have to do a bit of weather dodging here. And then somehow we just need to find their airstrip. Yeah, so I believe this is actually in the reserve, but only just inside it. So, I mean, that could even be the fence down there. Don't see anything. It could be that there. Is that it? That doesn't look like an airstrip at all. That there, I think that's it. Yeah, Yeah, that lines up a bit better with the GPS as well. I don't know. Doesn't quite look 100% correct, but I think that's what it is. It's not this line. No, that's exactly where it is on the GPS. It hasn't actually been cleared. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, but that looks like it goes perpendicular to where we are now. So it's not that. Oh no, that was just the water. Okay. Don't actually know where this little strip is then. I think that's what it is, but it's covered in trees. I mean, if that's the case, we're definitely not operating in and out of that. See here, all these little bits of water. That is a clear straight line. Wow, is it just that piece there? That's probably what it is. Just that little dirt strip. Or is it here? I think it's just that. Yeah, it's that little dirt strip there. Okay, so that is an airport for the Kodiaks for sure. Okay, I'm not even going to land on that. I think we would be okay, but it's a bit unnecessary. Well, if we need to operate in there, it's definitely going to be the Kodiaks that do it. Okay, let's continue on our way then. Only 18 miles out. So we'll do 1,500 feet. back onto the GPS course. Right, then last airport to check out for this flight. And then we're heading back to Pietermaritzburg for the evening. Then I think what we'll do is spend a bit of time here in KZN, do a bit of flying around here, and then probably mission down to East London and see how things are going there. Is armed. 200 feet up. That should work now. Right, 13 miles. We are motoring along. Right, what was this place again? It was just labeled Josini, I think. Oh no, it had a different name. No, that was the one we came from. It was Soko or something like that. If we go here, no, if we go here, oh yeah, it is just labeled Jazini, even though it's kind of nowhere near Jazini. But this is, so all along here is the Wetland National Park, and this is the actual St. Lucia wetland over here. So I think it's probably a private airstrip to do with the national park. Okay, 10 miles and we will see. Probably do an overhead join so we can get a look at the airport before we make our way in. How accurately can I set this based on the picture and the GPS? Probably not very. Yeah, I think this is actually all part of the Wetland National Park. This looks more like forestry. This is definitely forestry here. I think that's part of the wetland. Part of the national park, I mean. Right, where is this little strip? We are going to need to get fuel, so let's hope we can actually get into this one. But it's got a big icon on the map, so I think it's paved, it's not a dirt strip. Still don't see it though. That it there. that's it. It looks like a dirt strip from here. Okay, no, it is sort of paved. Nothing special. Right, let's go heading. That is completely not what I wanted to do. Right, there it is there. Yeah, okay, it's asphalt. Wow, my course line is not even close. Oh, right, because I didn't account for the fact that this GPS is not showing us, it's not heading up, it's north up. I didn't compensate for that at all. Hopefully there's fuel here in Neofly. Should be. To come in a bit high in this aircraft. Look at that thick jungle. Forest. And that is exactly what it's like down in this part of South Africa. Oh, look, there's a tree right on the threshold. That's not normal. That would not be in reality. And that's gonna make us touch down very far down. Ah, it stops nice and quickly, this aircraft. Okay, the only lights and strobes are off. We're going to taxi back to that side so we can take off into the wind and heading in the direction that we want to go already. I did do flaps up, yeah. Oh great, there's a vehicle moving where I want to go. Okay, we're going to get some fuel here. Neofly better have fuel at this airport, otherwise we're going to be in trouble. It's not like FS economy, we can't load fuel up on onto one of our aircraft and bring it if we get stranded here. So, and then there must be fuel at every airport then if that's the case. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, I think we'll just park up here. There's the fueling thing over there, but I don't want to get interfered with the actual fueling from Neofly, so that's why I don't park next to those things. Learned that from FS economy days. Right, let's just go turn this off, that off. Right, this is an airport for the PC-12s, I think, coming into the St. Lucia area here is nice. Some private charters and things like that, so I think we can definitely do that. The PC-12s have no issues getting in and out here. I think that'll work nicely. No need to bring the 120s in here. It'll definitely be PC-12s. The Kodiaks can, but they're a bit slow at getting up here. So that's quite a long flight for the Kodiak to get up here from Virginia. But anyway, I'm just gonna fuel up the aircraft and then we'll be heading back to Pietermaritzburg. So I'll see you in a bit. Alright, sun is starting to set. We're about 32 miles from our initial approach point into Pietermaritzburg. And also, like the absolute professional that I am, I forgot to unmute my mic when I took off on the way down here. So that's why that part had no talking, just the video. But my mic is back on now. So we're going to be doing the RNAV for runway 16 into Pietermaritzburg. I'm going to start descending now to our initial approach point's altitude of 6,500. Okay, and then just looking at the chart, so 6,500 at STEX, we then descend to 6,400 by Nibel, which is 10.8 miles, basically extended centerline runway 16. The next waypoint is the final approach fix. That's at 4,920 feet. Second last waypoint puts us at 4,140 with our minimums at 819 feet radio. So I put that in at about 850 and 3170 barrow. So we're gonna have to keep a good eye on our altimeter as we come in. The weather looks pretty bad, although it's actually a bit clearer on that side. So in fact, now looking, we should be good. Over Durban, it was really bad. Like the clouds were absolutely solid. But just looking out there, there are a few gaps all the way down to the ground. And we're going kind of that way, so we might actually be alright. But that's the plan for our landing. We've got plenty of fuel. Do we have plenty of fuel? Yes, we still do. I checked just now. And yeah, so the approach that we're doing, the RNAV for runway 16, brings us quite nicely over Albert Falls Dam. And then kind of perpendicular to the runway, and then we turn at Nibel max 180 knots. So that shouldn't be an issue for us at all. We'll be below that anyway. And then into Pietermaritzburg over the city, kind of. And we are 20 miles from STEX at the moment. Okay, so that is Albert Falls Dam that we can see up ahead. So we kind of fly to the northeastern, probably northernmost tip of Albert Falls, and then we turn left to fly 256 degrees to Nibel. So once we kind of get over the dam, we should start that turn. We just passed through 10,000 feet. Let's turn on the landing lights. And it looks like we're going to get into Pietermaritzburg just before the sun sets. Okay, that's 1,000 feet to go to our 6,500 foot altitude for STEX, so we're bang on profile. Quite a bit of clouds scattered around, but shouldn't be too much of a problem getting in. There we are. Whoa. There we are at our 6,500 feet. We should start our left turn any second now. Beautiful evening. It is quite windy though, so have to be aware of that when we are landing at Maritzburg. Okay, I should start that turn now. There we go. And that other dam that you can see up ahead there is Midmar. The two big dams just kind of northwest of Maritzburg. Okay, next waypoint. We're now just over 8.5 miles. We need to be at 6,400 by that one. We'll start prepping for our landing here, so we'll turn off the prop sync. We'll arm the auto feather. It's Speed's good. We need to be below 180, so we're totally fine there. Lights are set. I'm going to turn on the taxi lights as well, just so we can have as many lights on as possible. Nice and visible. And we'll turn on the inertial separators now. Okay, altimeter is set. What were we? 1025. Okay, 6 miles to go. Minimum safe altitude here is 5,780 feet, so we're totally fine there. So let's go down to our 6.4. Now we can do that nice and slowly. See, now I don't know why this doesn't arm. Weird. So if you set the vertical speed first, it doesn't let you arm it afterwards. That's what it seems like. Right, that's mid-mile down over, not there, there. Yeah, let's get the first stage of flaps in so long. Ground speed of 140. That's going to come down quite a bit. At 140 knots, you need to descend at about 800 feet a minute. I'm probably going to get that ground speed down to about 100, which gives us a descent rate of 619 feet per minute. Okay, so next we're going to dial down 3,200, 3,170 is minimums. Okay, ground speed now 133. Yeah, so let's do about 700 feet per minute descent. Yeah, so I want to aim for a ground speed of about 110. Runway in sight. Gear down would help us slow down as well. We'll go flaps full. Okay, lights are set, inertial separators are on. Gear down, flaps full. Runway in sight. Altimeter set, minimum set. All good to go. If we have to go around, we do runway heading. And at 6,500 feet, left turn direct to STEX, and we start the whole thing again. Yeah, at this point we should be 4,920, so we're a little high on profile. And next waypoint 2.1 miles, 4,140. PM2 and 0.2 miles. We're pretty much bang on profile. Ground speed 97, so we should be descending about 600 feet a minute. Perfect. Beautiful evening arrival into Pietermaritzburg. A big flat building over there is the Liberty Midlands Mall. Quite interesting. Big, long, flat, one-story mall. Okay, let's take control. We're a little low according to the puppy. Very low according to the puppy. We were 4 reds. We've got 1 white back now. We should get a second one back any second now. There we go. Let's try and stay on that profile. Right, welcome to Pietermaritzburg. Yeah, we can get the flaps up so long. We'll keep the landing lights and strobes on until we're off the runway. But we are safely down in Pietermaritzburg, a place that we visited frequently in the early episodes of the Neofly series. using our little hangar out there on the end. I'm going to park near the terminal because I don't think... No, we will actually be able to get this plane to our hangar, so let's do that. We just have to go across the grass a bit at the parking lot, but it's fine. But what a beautiful evening arrival into Pietermaritzburg. The sun has pretty much just set below the mountains, and it's been a pretty cool full day of flying. We started off at sunrise up in Mpumalanga, Kruger and Mpumalanga Airport. And we came all the way down to Virginia, stopped off at Virginia, and then headed out to check out some new, or some possible new destinations in northern KwaZulu-Natal. Now we're back at Pietermaritzburg to spend the night, and tomorrow, which will be in the next episode, is definitely going to end it after this. This is 5 hours and 20 minutes of recording already so far. But in the next episode, I think we're going to head down to East London. No, we've got a couple of jobs that we need to actually fly here in Pietermaritzburg and Durban. So I'm keen to get back into a few of those. We're going to go around and come from the other side. And then we're going to take... So yeah, next episode won't be this aircraft, the Embraer 121. We'll be in something else. And we'll do a couple of jobs around this area. And then the next episode, we'll probably be heading down to East London to go and see how things are doing there. Maybe we'll visit Cape Town. We haven't visited Cape Town at all yet in the series. And then eventually back up to Kruger to start setting up some routes operating into the game reserves and private lodges there in the Kruger area. Right, we're actually just going to park it on the grass, sort of here. I'm going to go ahead and shut down. I did switch off the landing lights and strobes as we came off the runway. Right, let's start getting things switched off. That can stay on. That needs to come off, so do these. I'll stop that beeping in a second. That's fine, that's all good. Yeah, we can stop that. Turn off the master. Come all the way down. Those are both set. Pumps all off. Like so. This can be off. That's fine, that's fine, that's all done. Right, I think that's it. Last thing we have to do. Let's set chocks, and we'll definitely put the covers on this time and pick up our passengers. And switch off the battery. Right, there we are. Okay. Again, made it safely into Pietermaritzburg. Beautiful sunset. Nice evening approach. And a good full day's worth of flying. But that's going to bring us to the end of episode 12. Again, if you made it all the way to this part of the video, I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.